Welcome, it's time for another Bitcoin update video. Currently it's Tuesday, November 21st, and 10 days ago I made the last video updating what I thought the next move for Bitcoin would be. You can see in the thumbnail even what I kind of anticipated there as price was trading right in this area. You can go watch that video if you're interested to see exactly what I said, but let's kind of quickly update the two scenarios that I outlined in that video. The first one was that this push down was enough to really liquidate any late longs and that this would just be heading straight up out of there. And the other thing I discussed was how this could easily form into a three-wave correction to the downside, like what actually did end up happening, and then continue higher out of there. So we got our three-wave correction, we got this impulsive move to the upside, and now price has still yet to break out to the upside. So has the analysis changed? Well, no, it hasn't changed. It's just taking longer. So things are coiling up. This is consolidating. It's still looking good for further upside. And one thing to note is that this move up did not clear this high, which is actually a good thing because we still have all these resting orders. If your stop losses are placed above these highs, it builds up even more of a potential for a breakout when we get to this level, or if we are able to get to this level and pierce through. So what I want to see is that this continues higher out of here and making a higher low compared to this low right here. Okay, so we want to see this be our strong impulsive price action in the trend's favor, and then corrective price action coming to the downside, going sideways, making a higher low somewhere in between this low and this high before we get our next move. So right now what we can do is take a look at this hourly and say, okay, maybe it's not going to break out right at this moment, but maybe we have a bit more downside coming in here before we go to the upside. But either way, the idea is still to be buying discounted prices, looking for lower time frame bullish divergence to take a discounted entry and get into this uptrend, expecting this next move to the upside. Okay, now one thing I want to do now is go out to the daily time frame and kind of just keep things realistic here with the way things are setting up on our balance of power and our momentum here. There's the possibility that we go into a larger correction soon, like what we saw back here, here, or here. And the reason for that is that we are coming to the downside with bearish divergence quite significantly on our balance of power here. As you can see, coming to the downside, balance of power. Our momentum, though, is still giving us the possibility that this could be curling to the upside here and going up. And I still think this is the most likely scenario, is that we're going to break out to the upside after a little bit of downside right now. Just a small move down, then up. But what I would like to see to really maintain strength and not get into one of these larger pullbacks is see this bearish divergence on the momentum negated. And what that would look like is we start heading up here with so much strength and momentum that this momentum wave actually fails to make a lower high and it breaks higher than this previous cross down. Okay, that would negate our bearish divergence on the momentum, opposed to what would be more bearish and likely to put us into a larger correction would be if this comes up here, which it's already crossed up, but then crosses down again with a lower high while price goes up here kind of weakly, and then we can be more so anticipating a correction coming in here soon. If we get that set up. So there's kind of two scenarios that could play out here, and it will be determined based on how strong the momentum is coming out of this. If we do get this next move to the upside, which is what I'm expecting right now, especially because this high was not taken out by this move right here. So it did end up leaving this high untouched when this move went up right here. So with these highs being both untouched, I think it's very likely that we take out both these highs first before going into any sort of decent size, larger correction. Although very, very low time frames, we could come down something like this before going up there. That would be totally fine and normal to see based on our balance of power here on this hourly. coming to the downside here, getting pretty weak as we come to the upside, this lower time frame. So just being ready for this and anticipating that we will at least see another move to the upside here. The main thing that I'm questioning here is how strong is this next move going to be? And is it going to take us into one of these larger corrections once we get close to 40K? Or are we just going to see momentum carry through extremely strong and negate the bearish divergences that are currently looking like they've been forming on the momentum, balance of power? So there's the possibility in a really strong trend that we start negating what looks like is going to be a bearish divergence. So just be ready for that as it does happen and it fakes out a lot of people, okay? So that's kind of the update here with Bitcoin. Nothing has really changed. We got our 3-wave correction, and the idea is that that was the low. With this 3-wave move down, that's the low, and we should be heading to the upside, not breaking back down below this low before getting to the upside first. So that's what I'll be looking for, and that's the update as of right now. We'll see how things pan out over the next few days or weeks, but I'll update it if anything changes.